নমস্কাৰ প্ৰিয় দৰ্শক মই পাৰ্থ বৰা আৰু আজি প্ৰাইম শোলৈ সকলোকে স্বাগতম জনাইছো আমি কথা পাতি আছিলো ভাৰতবৰ্ষৰ 50 কোটি যুৱৰ আকাংক্ষা এস্পিৰেশন আমাৰ সৈতে সংযুক্ত হৈ আছে এম্বেছাডৰ দীপক বৰা to have you here we were discussing about the youth of the country. So you were saying something.
Yes, I just wanted to tell you first of all thank you again for still allowing me to stay in your studio. The median age in India is 29. Median means that half the population like me is below 29 and half like you is more than 29. I have 130 crore, 135 crore people, right? We are the youngest country in the world. Education. You know, in the Mahabharata there is one episode वहाँ पर युधिष्ठिर जंगल में घूम रहे होते हैं पांडव तो एक तालाब से पानी पीते हैं और गिर जाते हैं बेहोश हो जाते हैं क्योंकि जवाब नहीं देते वो जो यक्ष है स्पिरिट जवाब नहीं फिर धर्मापुत्र आते हैं और यक्ष धर्मापुत्र से पूछते हैं कि एक सवाल का जवाब दो बाकी आपके भाई फिर जीवन आ जाएगा तो बोले क्या सवाल है मानवता की सबसे बहुमूल्य पोजेशन क्या है द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग क्या है एंड धर्मपुत्र के एजुकेशन साक्षरता 10,000 साल पहले आपके देश में हमारे देश में एजुकेशन की बात होती थी जब ये गोरे नंगे दौड़ रहे होते थे जंगलों के
पे थे
ये ताकत है आपके आज जब मेरा आविष्कार हुआ था मेरा मैन्युफैक्चर हुआ था ना भारत में तो देयर वर 500 स्कूल colleges and university today I have 50,000 and I have 15 lakh schools
15 lakh school right
15 lakh schools और मेरे पास 34 करोड़ विद्यार्थी हैं अमेरिका की आबादी 33 करोड़ है मेरे 34 करोड़
1 करोड़ ज्यादा है
1 करोड़ ज्यादा 1/4 of India is studying today we are the youngest country we are the finest minds in the world तो लोग हमारे पास आते हैं because they say look your prime minister our prime minister he has these hackathons with young people वो तो मजाक में कई बार कहते हैं कि बच्चा जन्म होता है ना इंडिया में तो हाथ में आईपैड होता है that is how we are doing so brilliantly in all things and he talks to young people etc. Africa is also a young continent but the difference is we are empowering our youngsters there because of their traditions or whatever the youngsters feel very frustrated हमारे भी frustrated होते थे 60s 70s 80s remember the brain drain सब भाग जाते थे but today because of distance working and you don't need to
distance is no more tyranny you talked about brain drain sir but then a brain drain hua that's why we have this huge diaspora great diaspora
30 million
right
and they are also ambassadors of India I was only the official ambassador they are all unofficial ambassadors
right sir
they are trusted because we are a very undemanding people हम बेईमानी नहीं करते हम बॉम्ब नहीं फेंकते हैं so the younger people of India who are watching your show and you are a very popular channel one of the most popular मैं इनसे कहना चाहता हूं that you know whatever you want to do it but remember that India is your mother we call her mother भारत माँ कहते हैं माँ के साथ बगावत नहीं करते आत्मनिर्भर भारत देखिए आपका स्वच्छ भारत कैंपेन हुआ था इट वॉज अ पीपल्स मूवमेंट कितने सक्सेसफुल हुए हमने प्रति सेकंड 2 बैंक अकाउंट खोले जन धन योजना पीपल्स मूवमेंट हाउ सक्सेसफुल एवरी 2 seconds 1 टॉयलेट पीपल्स मूवमेंट सिमिलरली आत्मनिर्भर भारत इज बिकमिंग अ पीपल्स लेट मी टेल यू सर यहां पर आपके असम में मैं आया हूं देयर इज अ कंपनी कॉल्ड कुमार इंजीनियरिंग आई एम द नॉन एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑनररी चेयरपर्सन दे आर मेकिंग power tillers they are making electric goods carriers they are going to launch it soon now this is small scale industry in Assam and they are exporting to other states and now to the world and he's a young fellow he came here he said I want to go into electric vehicles electric batteries and from around the world there is interest in participating this is the youth of India ye yuva shakti hai
you talked about the youth of India but I have a question you talked about India as a single unit but we have the tendency to compare Assam with Gujarat Assam with Tamil Nadu Gujarat is developed Assam is not in various parameters
but that's a very positive thing
to have an uniformity among states in terms of development do you think this is very necessary
of course there has to be competition that's the best thing and we are seeing that today every state whether it's participating in India's foreign policy or trying to attract investment when I was posted in Malaysia or the United States or wherever so many chief ministers would come with their delegations to attract investment very good Let's have this competition. Give better. अमेरिका में भी तो होता है. वो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट इधर से उधर चला जाता है तो लोग कहते हैं नहीं हम तुमको ये भी देंगे, फिर वो कहता है अच्छा मैं वहां जा रहा हूं, नहीं हम तुम्हें ये भी देंगे. वो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट को वही है ना, बिल्लू भाई गेट्स, उसका नाम वही तो है, बिल गेट्स और ऐसे कुछ है. अच्छा एक चीज जो मुझे आज तक समझ नहीं आई, नाम तो गेट्स है, बनाता विंडोज है. पूछा उसके कि ये क्यों करता है भाई तू. सो देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम, बट what we are seeing is across the board, all the 28 whatever states of India, union territories, they are competing for resources. They are fighting for development. Because ultimately, sir, to all the people watching your show, to the young people, there was an American president called Bill Clinton. I know him well. Billu Bhai wo bhi tha. तो बिल्लू भाई के कैंपेन में उनसे पूछा गया कि what do you think is wrong with America? Why should we have a change of government? And his catch line was, it's the economy, stupid. So if the economy goes further and develops, then there is no problem at all. Or beta, let me conclude this section of our discussion by saying, in America in the 60s and 70s, they introduced a new cigarette.
Right.
It was called Virginia Slims. उस time पे तो cigarette की advertisement होती थी, बाद में बंद हुई. So it was mainly targeting women, young women, Virginia Slims. और वो एक पिक्चर होती थी, आई स्टिल रिमेंबर, ऑफ अ यंग प्रिटी गर्ल स्मोकिंग अ सिगरेट, और उसके नीचे लिखा हुआ था, you've come a long way baby. And I want to tell the youth of India, you have come a long way baby.
Right, sir. Youth of India, you have come a long way. Sir, you being a diplomat, so if I won't ask you about India's relation with Pakistan,
no.
So time has, I mean, we no more, world no more hyphenate India with Pakistan.
Not at all. It's now India, China.
India and China, no more hyphenate. 370 has gone.
Yeah.
So what is the road ahead for India?
As far as this country is concerned, whichever name you took, there is a fellow called Niazi. He says I was the prime minister. I don't know what's happening. I think he's been thrown out.
Yeah.
You know, the obsessive...
Imran Khan also praised India's prime minister.
Can you imagine? He wants an Indian passport also. Somebody might decide to give it to him. What is their obsessive compulsive disorder? It's an OCD. Everything to do with India. We want to be everything that India is not. But my dear friends, we are streets ahead of you. We are hundreds of thousands of kilometers ahead of you. I have a $3 trillion economy. You are 270 billion. I'm way ahead of you. My per capita, yours used to be higher than mine till 12 years ago. Mine is much higher. Look at the international respect I have. Look at the international isolation you have. Then you tell me the army is the defender of the ideology of Pakistan. So मैं पूछता हूँ, what is the ideology of Pakistan? Can you please explain? If it is Islam, there are 56 members or 57 members of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. Is that the ideology of those countries? They asked me, what is India's ideology? I said, my ideology is development. My ideology is progress. My ideology is an all-inclusive nation where everybody is welcome. That is my ideology. What is yours? Then they say, okay, let's have some tea. I said, no, I want an answer, and nobody can give me an answer to this question. So they have created this myth. And till they overcome this myth, they are not going to be able to take their place. Nobody compares India and Pakistan.
That's right. You said India is now hyphenated with China. If we compare India and China in terms of ideology, how do you see it?
China is a totalitarian state. No question about it. We are totally democratic. You know, the Prime Minister of Malaysia, Dr. Mahathir, once said, I was listening to him, I spent 3.5 years in Kuala Lumpur. Let me acknowledge that he's now old, he's 95, 96. I learnt a lot sitting at his feet. I used to just sit and say, sir, please talk. I want to listen to you. Because he really took his country up. He said something, he said, your challenge in India is too much democracy. Sometimes you have to have a little more, a little less. And I would tell him, sir, the only cure for the problems of democracy is even more democracy. अब लोग कहते हैं democracy is dying, this, that and the other. This is, you know, come on, talk to the people on the street. You think they are not democratic? Everybody swears by the Constitution of India. Who gave us this Constitution, sir? Please read it. We the people of India.
We gave it to ourselves.
Who elected the present government? We the people of India. Who changed the previous government? We the people of India. Who will carry India forward? We the people. Please, this sentence, we the people of India. We the people.
Right, sir. With that note, I'll have to take a break. We the people of India gave the country to ourselves. প্ৰিয় দৰ্শক এই কথাৰ এটা বিৰতি ল'ম বিৰতিৰ পিছত শেষৰটো খণ্ডলৈ যাম আমি কথা পাতি আছিলোঁ ভাৰতৰ এই অপ্ৰতিৰোধ যাত্ৰা ছুপাৰ পাৱাৰ হোৱাৰ কিন্তু এতিয়া ল'ব লাগিব এটা বাণিজ্যিক বিৰতি
সাধারণ স্টিল এনে